So the first thing, we will be talking about this validation. So instead of going through the PPT, let me take you directly through the Excel sheet. In our last session, we have already spoken about, taken all these examples and talked about macro also. You can go through those videos, and let me take up the data validation part first. So let's take an example that you have a form, you have some data like name and department and some salary. Let's say a simple form, name, department and salary. Now you have created a form and you want some validation on this. Validation in the sense, like we want, name is fine that we can enter any name that we want. But when it comes to department, I have some fixed departments. And when it comes to salary, I have a range of salary. So these two things I want to validate. How do I do so? Let's take an example that right now I am able to write anything as a name and anything in a department also, like ABC department. But ABC department actually does not exist. And similarly, I can type any number, let's say 10 rupees also for a salary, which is not a valid number. So I want to make sure that the person who is entering data in these particular cells should be aware of what is to be entered here. So for that, what we can do, see, for the name, I don't have any restriction. But for the department and salary, what we can do, for department, what I can do, I can just keep some department names over here. Let's say HR, sales, and marketing, and then payroll, something like this, and ops. So these are some of the departments, let's say. And I want that the user should be only able to select from these options. So are we aware, like how do we validate? Because we have already done this in our past sessions. So are we aware how to do this? Like I want that department should be any one of this. The person should be only able to select these departments and not any other thing apart from these. So what we do, the first thing, we go to data and there is an option called validation. We have already talked about this data validation in the past, but for your benefit, I am revisiting this because we will talk in detail, because this is a very important feature of advanced Excel, data validation. So I'll take data validation, and the moment I take data validation, a box appears in front of me which says settings, input message, and error alert. So settings is nothing but it asks me what kind of data you would like to have. Input message allows me to prompt a message to the user, and alert, it gives me an error message. So both the things are possible. So what I do for settings, since I have a fixed number of departments, what I will do, I will select something called a list, and then I'll take the source and I'll show that these are my source. Now the moment I go to input message, I can put here department name, something like this. A title will come, and the input message, please select from the given list of departments, like this. And See what it says. It says that show this input message when the cell is selected. So when you click on this particular cell or when you select this cell, this particular message should appear. I say OK. See here. First thing, what has happened? A drop down list has come and automatically it is giving me a prompt saying please select from the given list of departments. I click here and I see all these options that are there. Moment I click outside, I don't see that information. I click here, I see the information. So this is one type of validation that we can do with Excel. Let me show you another type of validation wherein we can have a validation on a number, a whole number, let's say. So here what I want the salary to be within 10,000 to 20,000, let's say. So now this particular thing cannot be achieved by list. I cannot mention all the numbers that is there in salary from 10,000 to 20,000 and to select that. So what is the other way around? We can again put another type of validation here. How do I do that? See it very carefully. I highlight the cell. First of all, I'll highlight the cell and then I'll go to the same place, data validation. I'll select data validation and then in settings, instead of list, I will take a whole number. So it is possible to take a decimal number also. It is possible to take a time and other things also. So I will take a whole number. The moment I say whole number, it is asking me, would you like to mention a range, minimum and maximum? I say yes, definitely I would like to mention a range from 10,000 to 20,000. Now I can put a message also. Let's say salary. Please enter a number between 10,000 and 20,000 like this, and you say OK. The moment your salary is highlighted, what will happen? You will be prompted with this message. Now, even after this prompt, let's say people are entering wrong data or invalid data, then our system should prompt them. Let's say if I put 30,000 here, it will give me an error message. It says entry not valid. So this particular thing is not valid. You give a number within 10,000 and 20,000, let's say 15,000, it will take. So salary between 10,000 to 15,000. Now let's say I want to change the message that is being shown. So we talked about the settings, how to select a number, input message, and the third one is your alert. So you can also put your own alert here. You can say, please enter a whole number between 10,000 and 20,000. You can take like this. So when you talk about messages, you have three types of messages. One is stop, which this one will come, a cross symbol will come. You can also select warning, wherein this particular message will come, symbol will come, or you can select information, wherein this particular icon will come. So it depends on what kind of information you want to share. If it is a alert, then you can select a different kinds of icon. So if I select this one, it is also possible that information I'm just giving. You say OK. Now the moment I say 30,000, see what happens. My message box has changed, and instead of that red cross, I am seeing here a blue icon, I, information, and it is showing me my error message, and it is showing the title also as error. So this is how we put data validation in our cells. So this is very important. We can also either go for a range for a list box. It depends like what kind of form you are creating and how you want your data to be. So if it is a regular value, you can put a validation. If it is a place where you don't want others to put their own values, then in that case you can put them in a list. For putting them in a list, the best way is to write them somewhere and then take as a option or put it as a data validation. So this was about data validation.